Good morning, friends. A very nice day, beautiful climate, and meeting physically. Couldn't have asked for more. I think we are meeting after, 3 years? So, a good beginning. I think to start with, we are very lucky that we have Dr. Montek Ahluwalia amongst us, one of the foremost economists and a person who has made a major difference to the trajectory of this country. And that's putting it mildly. But for the kind of reforms which we would have received in 91, I can't even imagine what would have been our plight. We are watching our neighbors as of now. You feel only sorry, when so many human beings suffer. But you can see that a country without reforms, country without a direction, is almost at the verge of bankruptcy. And tremendous amount of grief and hardship is being suffered by millions of our friends across the border. So, big thank you to Dr. Montek Ahluwalia for making a major difference, and very hearty welcome, sir. I would like to welcome Dr. Bimal Patel, President of CEPT University. I would also like to welcome Dr. Tridip Surud, Provost of the University, members of the governing board, deans of various faculties, faculty members, members of the administration, and of course, all the graduating students and their families. So welcome. I think all that I can talk about is that how difficult have been the last 2 years. We have seen, it's just beyond comprehension that something could have happened to all of us. I don't think there is a single person sitting here who would have envisaged that a catastrophe and a problem of this magnitude would descend on us. We have lost our dear and near ones. We've all been put to financial hardship. We have all been isolated. We even forgot what it was to lead a normal life. And that's why I started my conversation by saying, what a beautiful day, Suddenly I've started realizing that what we used to take for granted, we should not. And we should have gratitude for every coming day, because events like this show us that how quickly the life can change. Well, all that I can say is during these very difficult times, the faculty, all of you, rose to the occasion, and we could continue functioning online. It's never a substitute for offline learning, because learning also happens by meeting with your colleagues, sharing projects, doing joint projects, brainstorming, blah, blah, blah. But we've also learned that, I remember that before COVID, having an online meeting was a no-no. Now it has become way of life. So I think the only real takeaway from this horrid time is that we could possibly have the best of both worlds now. We could meet physically, and we could not waste our time and quickly solve a problem anywhere in the world, talking to anyone, sitting in any place in the world, and solve a problem. So that's I think with everything which is very bad, we have to try and figure out what is the positive which comes out of it. This is one of them. So I would like to thank faculty for taking the risk. I mean, everyone's with Delta, it was fatal. And for guys like us, we were written off that the wrong side of 60s, and the hospital was our home, and it was a pretty scary environment. Well, some of us, most of us have pulled through it. We've lost some very, very dear friends. It will always stay with us, but I think we have to move on. The strength the institution has shown is by following, we have been following the need-blind policy. This word I picked up by being on the governing board of IMA, need-blind policy. So I said, what is this need-blind policy? The need-blind policy is a policy by which any meritorious student, for want of money, should not be deprived education. So broadly, that big word meant this. That was easy for me. So we have tried to imbibe this. This is very, very important. And we will have to only make it much more inclusive. With inflation, we'll have to keep on readdressing it, because what is today affordable is tomorrow it is not affordable by 6%. The cost goes up. So we'll have to keep on revising this scheme. We'll have to make it more user-friendly. We'll love your inputs. If you think some of the issues are not getting addressed, we would like to listen to them and make the whole journey pretty smooth. And the other thought is that let's not hope that we are again confined to our homes and we have to go back to online learning. But something like that happens for a couple of weeks or a month, then we should have the connectivity. We should have the computers. We should have all the kind of connectivity and the facilities to ensure that our education continues. So when I'm talking about a need-blind policy, I would like to make all this inclusive, so that, I mean, you say that we'll conduct an online course, but some of our students don't have the basic amenities or the proper connectivity. It may not happen in Ahmedabad, it may happen outside Ahmedabad. So we need to address this, and any suggestions would be welcome. I think Bimal Bhai has talked about everything, that the school is getting better, bigger. We will have improved faculty to student ratio. We've heard a lot about putting emphasis on research, so we will give it a thought. More infrastructure, so we'll be doing that. We've heard that the dorms are not good, so we're building new dorms and a canteen. Possibly you will enjoy the food. I'm told the food at this canteen is pretty good. I'm sorry everyone doesn't have an access, so please bear with me. But I'm told that that's a very good canteen. So we have laid the kind of foundation for really creating an interesting space where all of you can stay. And I think that the biggest learning comes when at this young age one gets to stay together and enjoy thoughts, time, hobbies, and whatnot with each other. So that's coming up. I think that project would be over by latest October. So I think next year, I don't know, September is the beginning of the semester, but we may miss it by a month. Possibly put you up in a rented place and then move you over. So all these things are happening. We are increasing the endowment funds. We are building everything. We are improving the facilities wherever it is required. So lastly, I would like to wish you all that the biggest thing one can expect from young minds is believing that everything is possible. So the biggest gain of a young mind is that it doesn't have history. It doesn't have wrong beliefs. With age, they do creep in, you know, you start believing the world works in a particular way. It doesn't. And believing that everything is possible is a very, very good way to get started. I think it's half the battle won. So I would very much wish that all of you take up things, let your imagination go wild, correct, and try things which are bordering on impossibility, but get them to fructify. So that would be a dream. And lastly, I would wish that if Elon Musk puts us on Mars, then the human habitat has to be designed by CEPT. So thank you.